Hey guys, what's up? It's Crumb, and welcome to the top 10 most useful quests on old school RuneScape. I picked these quests based off what they give you access to, not so much item rewards, although there's a few. If you're looking for a video that focuses more on quest item rewards, I made a video about that. There's a link in the description. If you disagree with me at any point in the video, or if I missed a quest, leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Monkey Madness 2. This quest has so many benefits, it is unreal. The first notable one is that when you're on Apatow, the monkeys won't attack you, even in human form. This is immensely useful because you don't have to worry about bringing a Gree, saves you time, saves you inventory space. It makes me very happy that you don't need a Gree. Number 2 is that you can communicate with monkeys on Apatow without using the Monkey Speak amulet. Once again, this is another one of those annoyances that was abolished by doing this quest. Perhaps one of the most beneficial things after completing this quest is that you get access to the best chinning/bursting spot in the game. It's that little maze part that you had to do when you're doing the quest. If you look up any range chinning guide nowadays, you'll find that spot, and it gets upwards of 500k XP an hour, I think all the way to 700k XP an hour. So if you're going for 99 range or magic, that's the spot you want to be at, and you're going to need to have this quest done. You also get access to the crash site, which has all those great money making methods with demonic, whatever they are, gorillas, I'm not sure, I haven't really been there myself. You also get the Royal Seed Pod, which provides unlimited teleportations to the Grand Tree. There's a version of this you can buy in the GE, and it's very expensive and it'll take you to the Grand Tree, but being able to have this unlimited one gives you really quick access to the Grand Tree, which has proved very useful, at least for me. I use it all the time when I'm doing farming runs, mainly because I don't really have Slayer rings yet, I know. And it also gives you access to the Maniacal Monkey hunting area, which to my understanding is fairly good hunting XP when you're in the mid levels of hunting. Overall, this quest had many benefits. It gives you access to some really great moneymakers and some really great perks. It has high requirements. It's an endgame quest, but once you get it done, you unlock so much, it is very worth it. Number 2. This is a quest that I reap the benefits of every day I play this game. It's Fairy Tale Part 2. And the thing that's great about this quest is that it gives you access to fairy rings. Fairy rings are a means of transportation around old school RuneScape, and there's 44 of them in game. 44 rings, that is. And these rings usually give you quick access to remote areas in old school RuneScape, and some of them also take you to other realms. As a matter of fact, many of these rings are the quickest way to get to that area in the game. So if you haven't done Fairy Tale Part 2 yet, go ahead and save yourself the trouble of walking super long distances to those obscure locations and do the quest. For how useful this reward proves to be from the quest, the requirements aren't all that high to actually do the quest. And the amount of time that you'll save by having these rings unlocked is going to greatly offset the amount of time you spend doing this quest. So go out there, get the requirements for, and do Fairy Tale Part 2 today if you haven't done it already. Number 3. Throne of Miscellania. And also Royal Treble. It'll help you, but it's not needed. In case you didn't know, by doing this quest, you will get a whole island of little workers that you pay a small sum of money to, and they gather a bunch of things like logs, or fish, or ores, or herbs, and then they give them to you. You basically get an island full of little people you can enslave to make you money within the game. So these quests, really you only need Throne of Miscellania to do this, but by doing the second quest, Royal Treble, you'll get another island full of little slaves to work for you, so it's good to do them both. And by doing these, you're able to make some passive income on RuneScape, which isn't really heard of. I actually made a video showing how one can make money from Miscellania after doing these quests, and I had a guy message me and he said, hey, my job is fishing lobster out on a boat, so for 3 months of the year, I'm gone. Will this work that long? And yeah, it does work that long. You just throw some money to pay the workers in, you don't touch it for 3 months, you come back and you see what they collect it for you, and you're going to have a lot of money sitting in that account. So it's something you should start now, because time is always progressing, and in 3 months, you're going to be able to have yourself a lot of money. In a week, you're going to be able to have yourself some money. It makes you money without doing anything, so do it. Simple and as easy as that. That's why this quest is so useful. I've been doing miscellania for the better part of 2 years now. I'm not going to say how much money you'll make on average in like a week from miscellania because it changes. Prices are always fluctuating, but it's worth doing. Number 4. I don't have an outstanding opinion about this quest, and I don't think the rewards for it are really too great, but I always see people singing a lot of praise for it. And the quest is Shilo Village. Granted, there is many benefits to the village, I've just never found a use for them myself. Within the village, you can do your fishing. There's a wonderful gem mine that makes a lot of money per hour last time I checked. You can also use a furnace there, which is one of the closest furnaces in the game to a bank. The drawback to that is you need to pay to use the furnace, although it's not very much. And it's also home to the highest level Slayer Master in the game. I suppose this is a fairly short quest and a fairly novice quest, and the rewards that you unlock for it are something a higher level player would do. I know if you want to do fly fishing, this is a very good spot, and I think what's really advantageous about this quest is being able to unlock Duriel, I think it's pronounced, the level 100 combat Slayer Master. I know some people really like to do Slayer through him, although I'm not sure if he's meta. Either way, this is a good quest to do. There's definitely benefits to it. There's some neat shops there you should check out, like the general store, which sells a few extra things like charcoal and papyrus. Definitely really good if you're an Iron Man, if you need those things. And there's also a fishing shop there, so like if you're an Iron Man and you run out of feathers and you're fishing there, not a problem. Go stock up on some feathers. Oh, and by the way, there's a fairy ring here if you did the Fairy Tale Part 2 quest CKR. Number 5. Lunar Diplomacy. This is a good quest to get out of the way, because not only does it give you access to runecrafting astral runes, which are amazing XP, but it'll give you access to the Lunar Spellbook. And the Lunar Spellbook is used for some of the best magic XP methods in the game. It also gives you access to many strange spells, but nonetheless useful. More notably Vengeance, Stat Spy, Cure Other, NPC Contact, and Monster Examine. There's also many miscellaneous teleports in there, and different things to do cooking, make flax, spin flax, a whole bunch of weird spells, but very useful spells nonetheless, and some that will get you great XP an hour, and great GP an hour. If you haven't done Lunar Diplomacy yet, it does have high requirements, but it ends up being worth it in the end, especially if you're going for something like 99 magic. Number 6. Desert Treasure. This quest can be a bit of a pain to do, especially if you're a lower level, like most people are when they do this quest, or they're on a pure account or whatever. The thing about it though is once you do this quest, you actually get some cool rewards. As a matter of fact, you get access to an entire new spellbook. The spellbook is called Ancient Magics, and there's some pretty cool stuff you can actually do in it, and I mean everyone's familiar with it, right? There's barraging, which lets you freeze multiple people at one time. That's super useful when it comes to PKing, especially clan PKing. There's people that build pure accounts simply around that. You go deep wildy, you're trying to mine some rune rocks, there's some max main that comes along that throws it at you. That sucks, but Ancient Magics, what are you gonna do? It also offers really good training for magic because you can hit multiple creatures with these spells. So I think one of the best XPs for magic in the game right now is you go kill those monkeys below the Monkey Madness 2 area with ice. I don't know the name of the spell. I'm 71 magic. But I know that you can get a stupid amount of XP an hour, like 500,000 or something. So this is definitely a good quest to get out of the way, especially if you're somebody that likes training magic. And you want to have those spells that are good for PvP, and those spells that are good for getting tons of magic XP an hour. You also get access to a few other things, like the Smoke Dungeon, which is cool because there's Dust Devils in there, which are useful for Slayer tasks. And there's also some other monsters in there, but I don't think they're really too interesting. Number 7. This is a quest that people often do at a fairly low level. Horror from the Deep. The thing about this quest is that you get the Godbook rewards. And I'm still using these Godbook rewards as a nearly maxed combat player to this day. It also allows you access to the Dagannoth Cave, and it gives you some fairly nice XP upon completion of the actual quest. But the reason I'm choosing this one is because of those Godbooks. They're just so useful when it comes to doing range, when it comes to doing magic, some melee methods use them. It's endless. They're some of the best bonuses in the game. Especially if you're a pure account, you're really going to be able to reap that benefit. And for that reason, Horror from the Deep is making its way onto this list. Number 8. This quest is My Arm's Big Adventure. And if you're somebody that wants to be efficient on old school RuneScape, this is the quest you want to do, because it gives you access to a disease-free herb patch on top of Troll Stronghold. And as you likely know by now, farming herbs on old school RuneScape is a great way to make money. So not only having an extra herb patch, but one that will never die is very beneficial. Whenever I'm around Troll Stronghold, I'll often see high-level max players doing their farm runs in this spot. It's very useful, and it's going to make you a lot of money in the long run if you're doing your herb runs every day. Definitely a quest you want to get out of the way if you're going for max efficiency. Number 9. Yeah, so this one is Recipe for Disaster, and you get Barrow's gloves from it. Cool, let's move on. Okay, no, I'm kidding. That's the main thing that you get from it is Barrow's gloves, and they're kind of the meta, you know, they're cool, everybody has them, everybody wants them, whatever. But along the way, when you're doing Recipe for Disaster, you're going to unlock a lot of content in the game simply because there's a lot of quests required to actually finish it. And by doing quests in RuneScape, you unlock a lot of content, believe it or not. A lot of the things you can do, and a lot of the best ways to make money in the game or train XP in the game is kind of locked behind these quests. And definitely, a good goal to set is Barrow's gloves, not just because they're the best gloves that you can wear, but because when you actually do the process of getting them, you're going to unlock a lot of different things you can do in the game, and that's definitely going to help you in the future. Now, I've ranked this one fairly low on the list for a reason. I just feel bad saying that this quest gives you a nice reward because in itself it really doesn't. It's all the quests that are required for it and all their little rewards that add up to make it a good quest to do. Barrow's gloves are nice, but there's a lot of work behind getting them, and it's not just the Recipe for Disaster quest that you're getting your nice reward from. Other than that though, if you have a week or two to work on this quest, go out and do it. You won't regret it. It's good to get those gloves, and you'll unlock so much more in the process. Number 10. Animal Magnetism. The reason I picked this quest is simply because you get Ava's accumulator from it, which is extremely useful. Not only is it the best ranged attack bonus for the cape slot, but it also picks up your ammunition, which proves extremely useful in saving you money. This is an essential item for all rangers. I remember my first time doing Jad, I hadn't actually completed this quest, so I didn't have the Ava's accumulator, and I used something like 20,000 bolts to get through the fight caves. If I had had the Ava's accumulator, that number would have been significantly lower. If you're going to be training any range for a serious amount of time, get yourself the Ava's accumulator. It's also extremely useful in things like PvP and bossing because it is the best ranged attack bonus for the cape slot. And that's it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Also, we're coming up on 4,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. I made this channel over a year ago, and I'm still making videos, which is something I didn't really think I'd be doing at that time, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it, still having a lot of fun playing RuneScape. If you guys have any video suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, love, peace, and chicken grease.